So the next thing that we need to talk about is note duration, how long notes last. Okay, so if we're talking about something in 4/4 time, so it's 4/4, sometimes it's written like that. Usually if it's printed out, it's written like that, like printed out official type sheet music. If people just write it by hand, a lot of times it's written like that, because since the lines of the staff are horizontal, then to do that, handwriting, you have to be really careful that you don't line it up with one of the lines that's already there. So that way, if you do it a slash, it doesn't matter. But anyway, so 4/4 means that there are 4 beats per measure. Okay, so you would count it 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next measure 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Okay, so the 4/4 means that there are 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets 1 beat. Okay, so a quarter note looks like that. Okay, and the little stem going up and down, it can go up or it can go down like that. Either way, doesn't matter. So, excuse me. So that is the quarter note. It's a little filled in circle with a stem. Okay, and that equals 1 beat. So quarter note equals 1 beat, only one of these. Okay, then we have a half note. Okay, so if a quarter note equals 1 beat, okay, if you think of like a pie cut in quarters in 4 pieces, okay, if each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, is a quarter, then 2 of them together is a half of a pie. So how many beats does a half of a pie get? 2. Okay, or how many quarter pieces is in a half of a pie? 2. Then how many beats does a half note get? 2 beats. Okay, and it looks like that. It looks like the quarter note, but it's not filled in. It's just an open circle. Okay, so those are half notes. Now, a whole note. Okay, if a half note is 2 beats, then 2 halves make up a whole. So 2 beats and 2 beats means a whole note is 4 beats. And a whole note looks just like a little circle. Okay, so we have the whole note is 4 beats, the entire measure. A half note is 2 beats, half of a measure. And a quarter note is 1 beat, and that's 1/4 of a measure. Makes sense, right? Okay, now we have something smaller than a quarter note, and it is an eighth note. Okay, and it looks like a quarter note, but it has that little flag. Okay, and that means an eighth note, and that is 1/2 of a beat. Okay, and sometimes eighth notes can be connected, and they look like this here on the bottom. Okay, so if you look at it, it looks like a quarter note with the stem, but then there's that little thing attached to the top. okay, and that's usually called a flag. So on the top one here, the flag is just sort of dangling. It's not attached to anything. When we have two of them together, the flags kind of hold hands, and that's that line across the top. So this is a half of a beat and a half of a beat. So it's two separate notes, each of them a half of a beat. Okay, so that is the basics of how long notes last. Okay, so we have eighth notes, half a beat, quarter notes, 1 beat, a half note, 2 beats, and a whole note, 4 beats. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I don't have anything to wipe this off with. Oh, yes I do. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual rhythms and how to count them. So, we're still not going to play any ukulele, but we will. Okay, so if we're going to count the measures, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's do whole notes. And what we're going to do is we're going to clap. Okay, so a whole note, just one whole note would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's, and you keep your hand together because that signifies that the note is still ringing. Okay, so it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you separate your hands because we're done. Okay, so that's whole note. Now a half note is 2 beats. Okay, so there would be 2 half notes in a measure. Okay, so we would count that 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so go ahead and try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Okay, now the quarter notes, and that's 1 beat. So a measure with 4 beats in it would have 4 quarter notes. Okay, and it's very simple. We just clap on each number, on each beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Okay? Excuse me. So let's run through that again. Okay, let's do 1 measure of a whole note, 1 measure of half notes, and then 1 measure of quarter notes. Okay? So it's going to go like this. If you think you can do it with me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Make sense? Awesome. So, let's do it again. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, now let's try playing that. Okay, and I'm just going to play the open C string. Okay, so we'll do the exact same thing. A measure of a whole note, then a measure of half notes, then a measure of quarter notes. Okay, you ready? Okay, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 just to get us started so that we can all play at the same time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. One more time. You know what? Let's do it with a C chord. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay. Now we still have those eighth notes to talk about. Okay. So the eighth notes are a half of a beat. Okay? So the way that we're going to count that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that way we have those half beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 8 notes in that one measure. So that's the 8th note. That's how they get that. Okay? So let's try clapping it. Okay? And we're doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Simple. Okay? So let's do clapping the whole note, half notes, quarter notes, and then eighth notes. Okay, ready? And I'll give a 4 count to come in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So hopefully that was easy enough. Okay? So if that's a little confusing, what you can do is you can count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right from the start. Okay? So why don't we try playing ukulele? Okay? And I'm just going to play again the open C string. Okay? And I'll count in and I'm going to do the ands. Okay? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So hopefully that all made sense. So let's try that one more time. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So I'm sure that with a little bit of practice you'll get that, even if you have to like rewind the video and watch again and everything. Okay? So those are most of the durations that we're going to deal with. Okay? There are ways to do like 3 beats long. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1.5 beats and quarter of a beat. So that way it's really fast. So it's like, probably can't do it with my finger, but I can do it with a pick, just because it's fast. Okay, so it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't count that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are 16th notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, 16 notes. So that's how they get the 16th note thing. But for now, we're not going to worry about any of that right now. Okay, so let's now put all that together. The last lesson with the notes and how to read the notes. And now we have the duration, how long notes last. So let's put all that together. Okay, so here we have a song, and I'm not going to give you the name of it. So you'll have to play it and figure it out on your own. So if we take a look, just to sort of review things. Okay, so that first note there, on that second line up from the bottom, is a G. So on the ukulele, it would be the 3rd fret on the E string. Okay, this note down here is a D. So 2nd fret on the C string. Okay, just to review, I'm not going to go over all of them. Okay, and then again, this first note here is 1 beat. So 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat. Then the next measure, so that's 4 beats because it is in 4/4 time. So then the next measure, 1 beat, 1 beat, and this now lasts for 2 beats. Okay, so this measure, the rhythm would be, if I clap it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then up here again, the next measure, 1, 1, 1, 1. So clapping that third measure is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the fourth measure, that's 2 beats, 1, 2. Now this little squiggly is a new thing. That is a rest, and it's a 1 beat rest. And then 1 beat here. So a lot of times, if you're not sure of something, you can figure out what it is. So if this is 2 beats, let me see if I can, yeah, maybe on this side, pointing looks a little nicer in the video. Okay, so this is 2 beats. So 1, 2. This we know is 1 beat. So 3 beats so far. We need to have 4 beats in the measure, so we know that that must be 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So that would be counted, this measure, counted and clapped. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, rest, 4. Okay? So to play it, okay, these are not the notes. Okay, I'll just strum a C. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then that's 3 and 4 for the 2 beats. Okay, this is another 1 beat rest. Now remember, these are a half a beat each. So 1, 2, that's 3, and that's 4 and. Okay, so to count this, to clap it, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 and. Okay, you could also just count the ands all the way through. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and then this here would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so you know what? Let's try clapping this whole line. Okay, so I'll count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to intro it, so that we can all start at the same time. Okay, so we're going to start here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So hopefully you were able to follow that and clap along. Definitely, if you want, rewind the video and try it a couple times. Pause the video and try it on your own, whatever. Okay, and now this last line here, we have another new thing at the end. Okay, so it's not a note, so we figure it must be some sort of a rest. Okay, and if you look at this last measure, that note here is 2 beats long. So this rest must be how long? 2 beats, because we need to have 4 for this measure. So 1, 2, and then rest 3, 4. So you clap this really simply, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the rest. Okay, so you can pause this video and play along and see what song this is. So you'll definitely be able to handle this. I have faith in you.